My Song by Joseph Seaman Cotter, Sr. I sang me a song, a tiny song, a song that was sweet to my soul, and set it afloat on the sea of chance in search of a happy goal. I said to my song, go on and lodge in a tender spot of some human soul where the fires of hate and selfishness are not. My song went on but a little space and hied it back to me, and fell at my feet in a sorry plight, the victim of cruelty. I gazed a moment and quickly saw just how it had come about. A cruel critic had caught my song and probed the soul of it out. Oh, poor, indeed, is the human mind, and why was it ever wrought, that can thrive on husk in the form of words, and not on a sturdy thought.
First, Rebel Rebel, Chris O'Leary. You're in from 1965 through 1975. He covers Bowie's everything, every song, every recording, every unreleased recording, and it captures the fire of that early spirit. Then he follows up. O'Leary has from 1976 to the end of Bowie's career, again, the same model where you take song by song, unreleased things, and tells the story of these recordings and who the person was during this time. So if you look at both these books, you get a real good feel for a very mysterious person. The third book is The Ultimate Mystery, Space Odyssey. This isn't about David Bowie. This is about the making of the movie. It was by Michael Benson and Stanley Kubrick and Arthur C. Clarke, and the making of a masterpiece. All three books put together get you a better understanding of this planet.
This is Morris. You might remember me from such lo-fi lounge features as The Time Machine. Teddy Quinn's been in the show business since he was a lad. Originally from LaPorte, Indiana, he broke out as a child actor in a popular nationally televised Bayer Aspirin commercial, and later appeared in lots of TV episodes, including one each on Bonanza and Bewitched, as well as on an episode of My Favorite Martian, where he failed to land a zap gun shot on Ray Walston, leading to subsequent comical behavior by Bill Bixby. He formed a band called Telekin as New Wave crashed into Southern California. He worked closely with Fred Drake and Dave Catching at the world-famous recording studio Rancho de la Luna. For many years, Teddy ran the free Monday night open mic reality show at Pappy and Harriet's indoor stage, and at the second annual Camper Cracker in 2006, his band performed both Friday and Saturday sets. He also played sets at the 2009 and 2011 campouts, once with his own band and the other as a one-off group, intended to be billed as TV Giants, but appearing on promotional material as Giant TV. Ted and his son Sage are active in the local music scene in the Joshua Tree area, and he's still strongly influenced by David Bowie. Ted made a whole album, 111, named for the day after Bowie died, as a full-on tribute to him. Keeping with the Bowie theme, join me in the Time Machine as I take you and Chris on a trip backwards. We'll go to Campout number 2, Saturday, September 9th, 2006, on the indoor stage at Pappy and Harriet's Pioneertown Palace, as Ted Quinn and friends perform the David Bowie tune, The Gene Genie, the first tune written for Bowie's 73 album, Aladdin Sane. Let's go then now. Chris, please push the big button. Until last time.
You don't know everything tastes right. Outrageous, it's creeping in more. sometimes I'll throw like a guitar, I'll do a lead, and I'll go, you know what? I'm gonna play another rhythm track to that, and then I'll take that one out, and then I start going, I'm doing too much stuff here.
Right.
It's funny though. You probably go through this too. Is sometimes I'll throw a solo down and listen back to it, and I'm like, damn, I did that. I'm like, how did I just play? Because I typically live, I play rhythm and sing,
Yeah.
I used to have another guitar player used to do leads and stuff, and now we're just Hig plays sax and flute, or something. So I'm like, but when I sit down and concentrate and I like get an idea, but like I said, I'll have to do 3, 4, 5 times or something, and I finally go, all right, well that's good. And then, but when I listen back, I'm just like, damn, that's pretty impressive.
On that you got this upcoming song a month gig.
So I have tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to finish up all the finishing touches on the first song I'm going to put up, which is called Fragrant Flowers. I'm Kevin Day. A lot of you maybe know me from my band Giggle Juice, and I'm starting a $1 a month club on Bandcamp. It's Giggle Juice, bandcamp.com. Come see us, and as always, gigglejuice.com. Thank you.
Hey, Boss Cat, how you doing?
Hey, DC. Oh, I'm doing what I do every day. Correlate the hypotenuse, sanctify the diagonals.
But somebody's got to do it.
And I'm still booking bands around town, but the pandemic has cooled things off. So I'm making movies until things warm up again.
Movies? Well, what kind of movies?
Little movies, less than a minute long, lots of music.
Sounds like fun.
Well, there's Mr. Pickle and his new song, Hooray for Mr. Pickle.
Man, that was something.
All right, DC, I'll check you later.
Thanks, Boss Cat. All those things seem like positive outcomes.
Yeah.
Until you hear the album.
Yes.
And then it seems like there's something about how they put these songs together or didn't.
Right.
That he watched a Grateful Dead that had already gelled. They've been working for years. Or he tours in front of Tom Petty's band and the Heartbreakers. That's a gelled organization, and they play this.
It's ready-made.
It's ready-made, but he didn't seem to fit all that well with the Tom Petty thing. Do you think it gelled at all?
I mean, to me, to hear, like, listening to it, first of all, is you have to look at the song choices.
Yeah.
And so the band, I mean, like, I think a lot of that had to do with Jerry, because he said, I like Joey. That's like, it says, let's do Joey, let's do Slow Train Coming, which is like, we talked about that already. Let's do Gotta Serve Somebody, which, and so you're bringing this stuff to the Dead fans who are maybe casual, like Dylan listeners, they're not going to know the deep cuts. So I mean, first of all, but then I've listened to the tapes. Like there's stuff out there, and you can find it, just the rehearsals, and it's just very sloppy. You hear them and playing around. It's just like, like it's right, because it's just like there's so many songs, and then it's like, let's try this, and then Dylan's kind of messing up the words, and they're just, it doesn't seem like everybody's on board.
I mean, it's the world's greatest cover. I remember when I was seeing it, I was going, wow, this would be a
What's
This
going
should
on
be
here?
fun.
Slow
Here's
train
a train
coming?
coming. Yeah, slow train's coming and it's running over the skeleton guy.
Mhm.
Dylan's looking pretty hip. He's got the little ZZ Top.
Yeah, well, he's got the lightning bolt. So
Lightning
it's like
bolt and
you're
thing.
kind of taking the Dead iconography.
Yeah.
So you got, Skull and Roses, and then you got, what is that, like, what era? Do you think that's Dylan in the 80s? No?
No,
Or
he's
maybe-
younger.
Yeah.
He's younger.
That's
Dylan,
maybe the European tour got electric.
Okay. Yeah. So and they're on the train together and they're
Mhm.
coming towards you, but when I first listened to it, put it on, I was just thinking, number one, I wonder if there are some better songs than the things that they chose to put on this album. It gets to a spot, and you could tell they had not worked out how to end it.
Right, yeah.
So they start doing this, and they do this song after song,
Right.
where they all start singing together. And not everyone in the Dead needs to sing.
No,
Later on,
Phil
for
Lesh
damn sure.
doesn't need to sing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they're all singing it.
no business.
And then it just kind of slows down, and it just like a train stopping.
Right.
This chorus out happens about 4 times in 7 songs.
Yeah,
And all you ever hear is the other keyboard, Brent
Midland. Yeah,
Midley. All you ever hear is him singing
yeah,
and over-emoting over the top of Dylan.
exactly.
So you were saying, turn his mic down.
Right.
In the mix, you can get him away
Who
from
sounds a little bit like Michael McDonald. So it's like, yeah, how are we going to end it? Because we're talking songs. Like, Dylan's songs aren't jams,
No.
And that's why when they played their Dylan songs, later on, they were always in the first set.
part of even one of the few kind of negative things of Dylan's new album. One of the reviewers were saying, I wish they would just let the band cut out for a second or play something out or kind of take off with the music.
Right.
But he's always kept a very tight rein
Tethered.
because he's really delivering the message of the songs and the words. Because
Right.
I still enjoy the Dead playing the songs. And there are some other examples later. Probably now we could get into. Is
Sure.
Jerry Garcia's.
I was going to bring that up. I
Album.
said, if you want to listen to the Dead and with Dylan, don't listen to this. Okay, like that. If it's $6.99,
Go ahead.
go ahead and drop $6.99.
Sure.
It's not like I would drop $6.99. I don't have this, but I'm letting you know. Like, don't go with this. The one to go with would be there's 2 examples.
It's Jerry Garcia. It's like a double CD, and Jerry Garcia does Dylan essentially.
Right.
And there are just some incredible versions because Jerry understood kind of the heart of how to sing those songs, and his voice is a very plaintive voice, and he just finds his territory in it, and it's not rushed, and
Right.
and it kind of brought together this kind of little jammy feel thing that you're going to have with his voice, and it just makes for a better translation.
Right. It's wonderful. Like, that one is good, and there's another one called Postcards from the Hanging. Grateful Dead plays Dylan.
Hey, when I saw that, I knew it was coming out, but when I saw that cover, I bought it that day.
It's a cool cover.
Dang, this is going to be
Probably
so
the
much.
best part of the record, folks.
Oh,
It's the
and
cover.
I was so-
Unfortunately.
But I was so sad that it just didn't. Sometimes
And then
it's
the back cover is like, the train's leaving the station.
Yeah, they
kids.
could've put that in the
It's
front
like,
cover.
Yeah, keep going.
well, that concludes our take on Dylan. and-
Anything
yeah.
else you want to say about it?
Only it's just that I'm still glad they did it.
Yeah.
funky. We know Major Tom's a junkie, strung out heaven's high, living that old time low.
This is a CD. You open it up, you put the disc in a CD player. For a week straight at home in the summer of 1973, I learned and recorded David Bowie's Space Oddity. With my parents on vacation in Arizona, I didn't call teenage friends over. Instead, I sat morning to night to morning with an acoustic guitar, a Concord 2-track reel-to-reel, and a Radio Shack microphone, deciphering his chords, strumming at his floating rhythm, and singing most earnestly his soaring double harmony. For here I am, sitting in a tin can. And I was living in a tin can for that week, glued to the singer, wrapped in his song. And I exited a musician, forever touched by the possibilities music would bring. I learned the freedom of words from Bob Dylan, the majesty of melody from John Lennon and Paul McCartney, from David Bowie. I learned the mystery of music, the spirit that says, if you hear a sound, you must chase it with all your heart to the end of your days. Though I'm past 100,000 miles, I'm feeling very still. And I think my spaceship knows which way to go. Tell my wife I love her very much. She knows. Ground control, Major Tom. Your circuit's dead. There's something wrong. Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear am I floating around my tin can? Far above the moon, blinded